Hey guys, a few days ago my channel reached the first anniversary of its first uploaded video, which is a now outdated guide on how the tier stat works. But what can I do? Anyway, I told you guys in a community post that I want to make a Q&A video as a celebration for that, so here we are. But before I start with that, I want to thank you for the 65,000 subscribers that I have at the moment of recording this video. I know most of you found my channel with the release of Repentance, but I still think the time before that was important to get the ball rolling, and I seriously appreciate all of you no matter when you started watching my videos. Thank you. But now let's get to the questions. I will start with some that require a bit more depth in answering, and I will end the video with a series of less serious, shorter questions. Let's start with the most commonly asked question on the community post: why did I even start making videos and what made me create a channel in the first place? Well, it was a combination of multiple things. I actually already had the idea to create an Isaac tutorial style channel over 5 years ago when the game was relatively new. It was something no one did at the time and I always thought it would be fun to do. But as so often in life, I just didn't go through with my idea, which I greatly regret today for obvious reasons. I could blame it on me going through university at the time, but let's be honest, that isn't true. I was just too lazy to do it. So don't be stupid, if you have an idea, just do it. Anyway, it was in summer 2020 when I was a bit bored with Corona being at its peak at the time and I was thinking about starting to stream on Twitch. Yeah, I actually have a Twitch channel in case you didn't know, but I haven't done too much there yet. However, starting a Twitch stream out of nowhere is next to impossible and everyone will tell you to start somewhere else like YouTube to create an audience and bring that over to the stream. And that's when I remembered my Isaac guide channel idea from 5 years ago. I set the Twitch idea to the side and started to think about how I want to finally go through with my channel idea, and this time for real. I've spent roughly 2 months in summer 2020 to think about my channel, watched tons of YouTube related guides and also taught myself the basics of video editing, which I had no clue about at all. I basically used those 2 months to figure out my initial editing style and how I want to do it, and the idea was to start with in-depth item guides for already existing items, until Repentance releases, where I would go all in on the channel. I'm well aware that Syncer already existed at the time and I was a tiny bit scared to be called a copycat, but I didn't want that to stop me. And to be honest, the fact that someone else already succeeded with the idea I had 5 years earlier kinda gave me additional motivation to do it. You should not stop yourself from doing something because someone else already did it. Different people have different perspectives and can give the same topic drastically different approaches. My idea was to give the guides my own twist and make them as in-depth as possible without them starting to become boring. And the success of the channel makes me think that I'm doing that at least somewhat good. But yeah, it turns out that maintaining a YouTube channel is really fun and the quote-unquote starting point for the Twitch stream turned into the main thing really fast. Okay, that first one was a bit lengthy, but I hope you enjoyed the insight anyway. Let's go to the next big one. What are the future plans for your channel? Well, that is indeed a big question that needs answers in many different directions. But to start out with a basic one, I want to keep going as long as it is fun for me and as long as you guys keep watching. The initial Repentance hype obviously started to fall down quite considerably, but I still get a good amount of views and as long as it stays that way I don't see a point in stopping. Some of you might think I will run out of ideas soon, but that is actually far from true. I still have lots of projects that I want to start soon, so look forward to that. I also want to start doing more item guides again, since that was the initial plan for the channel. I at least want to cover all Repentance items and trinkets at some point, even if they won't get that many views anymore. I basically want to create an Isaac wiki in video form over time, and I also plan to cover more awesome mods in the future, when the modding scene really starts to roll after the API gets updated. The thing is, I just needed to tone down the upload schedule for my own sanity. I uploaded 3 videos a day for nearly the entirety of April and 1 video every single day for the next 2 months after that. I think it is no surprise that it started to drain me out a bit, and I actually want to try to settle on a 3 to 4 videos per week schedule at the moment, if you haven't already noticed. So yeah, TLDR, I will keep going as long as you guys like the content, but I had to slow down a bit for obvious reasons. But let's look a bit further into that topic with more specific questions that fall into the same category. When will you do streams or videos or full runs? Well, this is the awkward part. Like I said before, the creation of the channel was meant to be a stepping stone for exactly that, but I dived down into the guide niche so much that I'm afraid my viewers don't even care about me as a person, but only the showcase videos now. That's why I'm a bit hesitant to start making regular quote-unquote let's play content. It would obviously be a pretty huge thing for the future of my channel if it turns out that you guys like it, but it could easily go the other way too. So yeah, I still have to figure out how to approach that topic without actually killing my channel, and I wouldn't mind if you guys gave me feedback on that. Let's get to the next question, which is actually also a big point of my hesitation of the previous one. What is up with me using my voice in the videos? And this one is huge. I didn't use my voice on the channel for like 10 of the 12 months at all. I only started to make voiceovers for my videos recently and only revealed my voice in a video where Edmund gave me the opportunity to reveal 2 of the new 4 Souls cards, which I'm still very grateful for. However, I always knew that I wanted to use my voice in the videos at some point, but there are 2 major points of hesitation for me. 1, I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm obviously not the most comfortable with doing that in the videos. And 2, I was afraid that people wouldn't like it, even if I had the voice of an angel. And to be honest, some really don't, and I get comments that want me to stop using my voice here and there. But the overwhelming majority of the reactions are positive, so I think I should keep doing it. And I also feel like I'm getting a bit better and more comfortable with it as well. Oh, and by the way, a few months ago YouTube revealed a new feature for the platform that allows creators to upload multiple audio tracks for the same video. This will obviously remove the second problem in an instant, because I can just upload the same video with and without voiceover and everyone can just decide for themselves. So yeah, hurry up YouTube, I'm really looking forward to that feature. Next up is the question, do you plan on covering other games on your channel? Well, some of you might have noticed that my channel banner says roguelite guides and gameplay. It is actually hilarious how not true that statement is after all. Since I only covered 1 game so far and not a single video on the channel is actually gameplay unless you count this abomination. But yeah, it obviously tells you that I do want to cover other games at some point. I really like the roguelite genre as a whole. It is just that Isaac is the one game that I have the most knowledge about, so it was an obvious choice here. One big title that I already know I want to cover 100% is Edmund Macmillan's next big project, Eugenics. I am absolutely sure that I will love this game since it combines ideas from multiple genres that I like and I can't wait for its release. But yeah, the game is still in development and we probably have to wait at least 2 to 3 years for that. Aside from Eugenics, I don't have anything else that I want to cover yet, at least not on YouTube. However, that can obviously change anytime if new games release. I also do play other games on my Twitch channel once in a blue moon if you are interested in that. Next question. Don't you ever get tired of Isaac? If yes, how do you work around this issue? That one is actually quite sad to answer, to be honest. The answer is not really a yes, but also not really a no. I don't get quote-unquote tired of Isaac as a game, it is just that I can't really enjoy it as a player because of how my channel works. I normally come home from my regular job around 5 PM and directly start working on my current video. And when I finish the video, then I go either straight to the next one or do something else if I'm drained from Isaac. I basically don't feel the urge to play the game after editing because every time I try I have a voice in my head that says, "Slay, you could make a new video right now instead of enjoying the game." Yeah, this is really messed up, but it's sadly how it is. Some of you might say this would be one more reason to make gameplay content because it would involve me playing the game without wasting content creation time. And you might actually be right about that, but yeah, I already talked about that earlier. Anyway, next question. Do you have a Discord server? That's a really good question, my man. Yes, I do have a Discord server and I think we already have built a really nice community on there. We are approaching 2000 members already and the server is quite active. Feel free to join us, the link is in the video description. Oh yeah, and since I'm already selling out here, I might as well double down. I haven't publicly announced that yet, but I actually activated the membership option for my channel not so long ago. If you ever feel like financially supporting me in return for some fun perks, just go and see what the membership tiers have to offer. Maybe you think they are worth supporting me. Anyway, enough sellout and on to the next question. How did you discover the Binding of Isaac? I discovered it in fall 2012 and I was in the first semester of university. I missed my train home after the last lecture of the day by a few minutes and had to wait for half an hour for the next one, so I went to the media store of the train station to kill some time. And that's when I found this sitting in a shelf, the original The Binding of Isaac, or more precisely the Most Unholy Edition. I opened it and looked through the art booklet that was inside and I instantly fell in love with Ed's work. I bought it and immediately started playing when I came home and loved it ever since. It is just a masterpiece after all. Next, where did the name of your channel come from? Oh boy, that one is actually a bit of a longer story because my name went through multiple stages, but I'm trying to keep it short. It started when I was around 10 to 12-ish years old. I was bored of using my real name in video games back at the time and wanted to change that. Back in the day I was really into trading card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and I also played a game called Duel Masters. I don't know if that game is still being played, but I really loved the mechanic in it that is called Slayer. And that's why I picked that as my username, which I used for the years to come. Yeah, I know, Teen Slayer was kinda edgy. Years later, when I was just about to turn 18 years old, I started to play World of Warcraft. But I played on a roleplay server and I didn't want to name my character Slayer on there for obvious reasons. That's when my undead warlock Slayrod was born. However, all my guild members always called me just Slay, and I actually really liked that. And that's when I started to use just Slay as my name in literally any game possible, and Slayrod when the game was RPG based. The last evolution of my name was not that long ago. I actually play Pokemon Go since day one and I really enjoy it. I found some really good friends through the game, and roughly 1 year after release we decided to show our affiliation with each other through some sort of a clan tag. However, one of our little group of 5 already changed his name once and couldn't do it again back then. His name ended with XC2 and we thought, why don't we just use that as our tag and put it at the end of our names? And that's when Slay XC2 was born. Okay, that one ended up longer than I thought. The rest of the questions will be shorter and more fast paced. Let's get at it. How hard was it to start making videos, and which one was the hardest to make? Well, it depends. If you have absolutely no clue about editing at all, it might feel a bit overwhelming at the beginning. But there are tons of good guides out there to get over that first threshold, so I figured it out quite fast. At least, the needed basics for my kind of content. And about the hardest video to make? Well, if you're talking about raw effort, it has to be the showcase of every freaking new enemy in Repentance. That video took me nearly 10 hours to make. It wasn't necessarily hard, but it took forever. And a fun fact here, I decided to split up the tainted enemies into a separate video that took like 1 hour to make and got 70k views more. Favorite video you ever made? I have to give that to my video about the entire 34 mystery that I made only 2 days after the Repentance release. Looking back at it now, it isn't the best video in regards to quality, but it was really fun to make and figure out everything as fast as possible when the DLC just released. And after all, this video was probably the one that started the boom of my channel. Most complicated video to produce? Well, I answered that a moment ago, but I have to give a second answer to that question. It is actually this video right here, yeah. I totally underestimated the amount of effort it needed to do this kind of video, especially because I added stuff to look at to not put you guys to sleep. You are awake, aren't you? Most hated video? I have to give that to my showcase of all the new Repentance bosses because of one reason. I accidentally forgot to put Hornfell in there and put another boss in there twice instead. It isn't the worst thing ever, but that one is haunting me for some reason. Even more than my occasional typos that fell under my radar. Favorite item? Spoonbender, because purple is my favorite color. Favorite character? Kain, always has been. Most hated item? Tiny Planet. I think most of you can relate. Most hated character? Lazarus. I mean, come on, his gimmick is literally dying. Most hated boss? Carrion Queen. I think the entire fight is nothing but tedious and boring. Most hated enemy? I give that to Big Spider, because why is there an enemy that tanks as much damage as Hush in Basement 1? What's your favorite poop boss? That's easily Turtlet. I was laughing my ass off when I saw that guy the first time. What's your favorite Angel Deal item? That's Sacred... no, not that one. Sacred Orb. Any other games you play besides Isaac? What genre do you like? Favorite game of all time? Well, that one is really hard to say since I like a lot of games. But if I had to decide, I would give it to the entire Smash Bros series since I played all of them and they influenced me throughout my entire life. Do you like Huts Gaming? Yes, he's actually my favorite Isaac Let's Player by far and I'm watching him way longer than my own channel even exists. He also gets bonus points for being a fellow Red Hat. Talking about Red Hat, why are you Red Hat? Well, that's in the genes, my dude. What's your favorite thing about the Binding of Isaac? That's an easy answer, it's min-maxing. That's also why Kain was my favorite character ever since Flash. Do you spare Baby Plum? No. How many hours do you have played Isaac? Well, if you are just looking at Rebirth, we are looking at 2230 hours, but at least half of that is just me recording videos for the channel. Will you make face reveal? Well, maybe someday, I'm not completely against it. What program you use to make and edit videos? I'm using DaVinci Resolve. What's your favorite song? I like to separate that question into female and male lead singer and I have to give those to Ignorance by Paramore and Metalingus by Alter Bridge. What's your favorite fruit? Strawberry. Where are you from? Well, I'm from Germany if that wasn't obvious by now. How old are you? I'm 32. Do you have a girlfriend? Asking for a friend. Well, you can tell your friend that I have a girlfriend and we've been together for 8 years. It's my one chance to ask the important questions. Waffles or pancakes? I have to give it to pancakes. Will you ever use your voice? No.
He's the number one, God's favorite son. His flowing rose reach down from